Why aren't men getting married anymore? It's not because they hate love or they're against love. It's because the system is actually stacked against them. In 1960, 72% of adults were married, and today it's barely 50%. And among men under 30, it's pretty much nowhere. Here's why. Divorce courts, they'll take all of the man's money, they'll take the kids, they'll take the house. 90% of child custody goes to women, and men pay millions in child support and alimony every year. Then there's the happy wife, happy life culture where men sacrifice everything to keep the peace. Meanwhile, if a man wants traditional roles, it's labeled as toxic. So men naturally ask themselves, what is the upside? And for a lot of guys, there isn't one. It's not that men in general hate commitment. They hate commitment to a system that is designed to punish them for existing. Till marriage becomes a partnership and not a legal liability, men will continue to keep saying no thanks. Do you think men are right to walk away from the thought of marriage, or do you think that marriage is still worth it? Let me know in the comments.
Marriages seem to be a lose-lose situation for men because what is the upside of getting married as a man right now? Because more than 50% of marriages end in divorce. So what do you get out of that? Pretty much nothing. Women are not loyal like they used to be, like your mothers, your grandmothers. So you can't expect loyalty from these modern women. Then on top of that, if you do get divorced, she takes half of your money, you're paying child support for 18 years, and then you're just broke.
So I saw this interview of a guy asking a girl what she brings to the table, and her response is exactly why men are tired of dating. She basically said she doesn't have to bring anything to the table and got offended that he even asked her that question. This entitled mindset is why men are walking away from dating. Here's what I realized. Men have been taught since birth how to treat women, but we as women are taught our entire lives how to be treated by a man, not how to treat a man. Like, think about it. From the time we're little girls, we're told what we deserve, what we should expect, what standards we should have, but nobody teaches us what we should give, how we should support, or what we should contribute. Men from a very early age learn about respect, providing, protecting, leading, and making a woman feel valued. But what are women learning? How to receive, demand, expect, and be catered to? We're taught that we're queens who deserve to be worshipped, but nobody teaches us how to be the type of woman worth worshiping. And the dating advice women get from other women is so toxic. We have this mentality, if he won't, then someone else will. So if he won't pay for your dates or buy you expensive gifts or treat you like a queen, then guess what? Someone else will. Like, that's basically the dating advice for women, and it's so messed up. Like, imagine if the roles were reversed and men were like, if she can't cook or won't clean or support or respect me, then someone else will. Women would lose their freaking minds. And then y'all would start calling that toxic masculinity. We've literally created a generation of women who think they deserve everything while bringing absolutely nothing to the table.
What she just said explained the whole modern dating scene. Women think that they're entitled, that they're owed pretty much everything from a man, that a man should provide from day one without her having to earn it.
Let's put guys in the friend zone.
Because we don't like them, they're too nice.
What's wrong with being nice?
We like talking.
This is exactly why there's so many men that are just done dating, because if they're a good man, they're being told that they're too nice by this type of woman. And her advice is playing toxic games like not texting her back. Good men don't want that. But what they're being forced to do is weave through this toxic craziness and trying to stay true to themselves, all while hoping that by the time that they do find their match that is also of healthy mindset, that they're ready for her, which is easier said than done.
It is no surprise that men in masses are leaving the dating scene because this is what you get right now. You get these women that don't know what they want. They want a quote-unquote bad boy, and then they wonder why these men are all leaving them. And then one day when they're 40 with a whole bunch of cats, they're all crying on TikTok saying, where are all the good men? Well, guess what? You've been rejecting all the good men.
If you're not dating for marriage, like, what are you dating for?
Well, do you think you can't have a lifelong girlfriend and have kids?
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
Because why would you stay with someone but not also just go ahead and marry them then if you plan on staying with them forever? Like, what's the problem?
Well, I mean, this is the solipsism. So you're saying, why would a woman do that? I get for you, maybe you don't like the deal, but I think it's a better deal for me to not get married. So convince me that I should get married.
Because you want to date other people, like in your lifetime, you don't want to like just only be with one person?
Do I need to get married to stay with somebody for the rest of my life?
No.
Okay.
Are you worried about the like liability or repercussions?
Yes.
So you wouldn't.
I am concerned about the liabilities.
So you wouldn't love somebody enough to make that commitment?
I can just reverse this onto you. Why can't she love me enough to not get married?
I guess.
So your argument falls apart.
So my question to everybody watching, should men still be getting married? With the modern dating scene the way it is, do you guys think it is a good idea for men to continue getting married, especially with no prenup?
I don't want to get married. There's no benefit to that.
What? You're not gonna get married? Josh.
But why? What's the point of getting married? I have to pay $50,000 to get married for what?
Excuse me?
This is one thing we can all agree on, no matter if you're for marriage or against marriage, is how expensive marriages, aka weddings, have gotten. I was just listening to that divorce lawyer that's going all over these podcasts saying that the more extravagant a wedding, the higher a probability is of a divorce.
These men want you to meet them where they're at, which is in the pits of hell or at a local coffee shop. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not interested. Also, a walk date is like beyond me. I'm not getting my 10K steps in with you, sir. I don't give a fuck to do that. I view that as a low effort date. I don't want to meet a man that's showing low effort.
So gentlemen, is going on a coffee date the pits of hell to you? Do you think going on a walk with a woman means that you're low value and that you don't have worth? Well, let's discuss this. Ultimately, men are pushed to perform, they're pushed to become something they're not. And really and truly and ultimately, you are going to end up with someone, and the excitement will be when you're old and grey, going on a 10K walk and having coffee at a coffee shop. So why wouldn't you start there? But ultimately, it's not about performance, it's not about instant gratification, and it's not about grand gestures. What it's about is somebody that's genuinely wanting to connect with you. They want to find out about you. Does she love coffee? Let's go to a coffee shop. Does she love like sunset walks? Is she into cooking? Let's go to a cooking class. Does she like play? Let's, go to this new adventure thing that's to do with play. A man that's invested in you will be attuned to you. He will want to find out when was the happiest time of your life. What was your best date you've ever gone on? He will in tune to you and create something unique with you. For if you think the pits of hell isn't being taken out by a man who's got a Ferrari and taking you to the best restaurant like he's doing to every other woman, you're highly mistaken. It's not the money invested into you, it's the time, it's the effort, and it's the attunement. So men and women, please don't lose hope. You are valued by your creativity, you are valued by angels out there that want to know about you and your soul and want to create an experience that's magical, that can be created from nothing. If you can't afford to take a woman to a fancy restaurant, it doesn't mean you don't have value. It just means you can create something different and magical, and the right woman will love you for it. I love you, you've got this.
And this is the problem with modern dating. Women are expecting these fancy, nice dinners on the first date when you have never even met. You don't even know if you'll like the conversation. So why would you spend all that money on somebody that you don't even know if you're going to connect with? It makes no sense. So of course, a coffee date is the logical move.
I like assholes or nice guys.
I think guys who are way too nice are so unattractive. It's like such like a ick. But guys who are like kind of dickheads and then they can be nice when I want them to be, that's
So guys are a dicks, like you think they can change. Has it ever happened? Has a guy ever changed?
No.
No.
This is exactly why there are so many men that are just done dating. Because if they're a good man, they're being told by this type of woman that he's too nice. And she admits she keeps going for that bad boy type that she's hoping to change into a nice guy just for her. Good men don't work like that, and they don't want that. But what they're being forced to do is weave through this toxic craziness and trying to stay true to themselves, all while hoping that by the time that they do find their match, which is also of healthy mindset, that they're ready for her. Which is really easier said than done, because if you've run into this mindset from a woman over and over and over again as a man, It's just naturally going to be harder and harder to believe as a man that a woman is genuinely interested in who you are as a man that will treat her well. And that is what's messed up.
I keep telling you guys, social media has ruined dating for both genders. These women don't want these quote unquote nice guys. Will go for these bad boys that will never settle down with them. And then guess what? One day when they're 50, lonely at home crying, they'll remember that nice guy.
Lies men tell. Let's get into it, starting with this one. If a guy says he doesn't want to get married, however he says this, marriage is just a piece of paper, we don't need marriage to prove our love, that means he doesn't want to marry you. He'll marry someone that he's serious about. This is just a hard reality that you've got to face. It means he doesn't want to marry you, and he will string you along if you let him. Another one. I hear women say, oh, we've been together for 4 years and there's no sign of a proposal, but I know he loves me. That is not truly a man looking out for you. That is not a man you want to be with long term. A man that values you and is thinking of what's best for you, your relationship, and your future, and also knows how valuable you are to him. Of course he wants to marry you. Of course there's going to be a proposal. 4 years is way too long. Another one. If a guy like ghosts you that you're dating, he hasn't messaged you in a few days, a week, and then he says, oh, I'm sorry, I've just been busy. He has someone else that he's more interested in, and he will come back and hit you up if you let him whenever that woman is not available or it doesn't work out with her. One more. If you're with a guy and he has a female coworker, a woman, like a colleague of some sort, someone that he's overly friendly with, and you start asking, like, wait, is there something going on here? And he says, oh, we're just friends. They're not just friends. If a man even puts you in the situation where you're uncomfortable with his behavior with another woman, they're not just friends. And he absolutely, if he hasn't already, will step out on your relationship. Anyway, I just know there's gotta be a woman out there that needs to be set free from the lies that terrible men will tell you. So I hope this sets a woman free.
And you guys know what the crazy part is? Her whole speech that she just gave, you can say about women as well. Men are not the only ones rejecting marriage. Women are doing the same exact thing, especially these feminists. So my question to her is, what are you going to tell these women that are rejecting marriages? Why are you always blaming the men for everything?
I told you, guys are tired. Guys are tired of you. They're tired of you pretending to want to take them seriously when you really just want the free drinks. They're tired of going up to you and you being like, thanks for the drink. You know, doing this game you do. Tired. They're tired of the takers. They're tired. They don't want to deal with any of that. They're tired of, oh, you know, you meet all of these qualifications, right? You know, you got all the qualifications, and she's talking to you and she's like, oh, but, you know, there's this one thing. He has a boat and it's red and I don't like the color red. Oh. Right? Because they feel like they can be so picky that they've got everything met, but they can just nitpick about everything, right? They're tired of you. You want guys to come up to you, change your attitude, change your strategy, treat them differently, and that's going to happen over a long period of time, right? It took decades to get here. Guys finally saying, I am done with you. And social media played a big part because now they go on socials and they see women talking all their crap. So they're like, oh, I know what's going on now behind the scenes. When I walk away after buying you that drink, I know you're making a fool out of me. They're like, I'm done. You're going to make a fool out of me? Honey, now I'm going to make a fool out of you. I'm going to sit at that bar. I'm going to drink my scotch. I'm not buying you nothing. I'm not even looking your way. That's what's going on. Change your attitude. It's going to take a long time for guys to feel like you've changed genuinely, and then you'll see. But for now, especially in the cities, guys are just sitting back with their drink, and they're just letting this drama unfold. It's hilarious. It's like, you know, they're frazzled cats. Frazzled cats. Ooh, very entertaining.
Can you blame men for leaving the dating scene? Because think about it, for years, especially these nice guys, they've been used and abused for free dinners, free drinks, free gifts, vacations even, with no intention of these women to ever date them. They were not interested in them. They were just interested in what the man could bring to the table, as they would say, right? And then they wonder why so many men are just done dating because they're sick and tired of being used and abused.
Question for the men that say they never want to get married. Which I totally get your reasoning. You don't want to get divorced and give up half your shit that you've worked your whole life for. Check. Got it. So my question is, for those men, do you live in a state that after 7 years of being in a relationship with someone, dating them, living together, you are married by law anyways. And then a two-part to that is, what about when you don't want to move into your girl's place? So you're like, hey, move into my place, right? So maybe she's renting her house out now and she has to move all of her stuff out, but you don't need it at your house because your house is already fully furnished. What is she supposed to do with her stuff? Because in your mind, if you get divorced, or I guess if you never get married, you guys break up, she would then have to then go rebuild, go rebuy all of the furniture. And as you know, it's always going to be more expensive to go rebuy the furniture you already had, that you had to go sell for pennies to the dollar. So what is your thought there? Do you get like a backup plan is, if we break up, then you have to help fund my furniture purchases because I had to get rid of everything when I moved into your place? Like, what is your guys' thought on this? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Let's have a combo.
The crazy part is she answered her own question in the beginning. She goes, yeah, I understand men don't want to lose half their stuff. Yeah, that's big enough of a reason not to get married. And to play devil's advocate, to answer her second question, like, do you live in a state where after 7 years, you're technically considered married? Guess what? If a man is with her for 7 years and above, then he might want to marry her. He probably will marry her if she's good enough for him to be with her for 7 years. I mean, doesn't that just make logical sense that if you're going to be with somebody for 7 years, you think like, hey, at that point, let's just get married? And most men do. It's very rare that you see somebody dating for 10 years and not get married. And those are rare exceptions. And with that being said, that is it for today, folks. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.